I mean, the recipe, it's 4 ingredients. It's water, flour, yeast, and I always forget the last one, salt. So if you want a simple recipe, this is the one. Put those together, and before you know it, you have quality bread. Well, I think we have enough.
It looks like it's not done on the camera.
First off, let's talk about flours. Now, I could talk about flours all day, but my favorite one is T55, which you can get on Amazon. But to make this easier, you can use all-purpose flour. Just make sure that it's unbleached. Bread flour is even better.
These flours provide the optimal structural quality we need for proper shape and texture. Note, we want unbleached. Also, if you buy this 1,000 gram packet, then you've acquired exactly the amount you require.
The second ingredient is salt. I use pink Himalayan salt, but you can use table salt just as well. You need 16 grams of salt.
Now we just need yeast. This yeast works best for our purposes, but you'll want to make sure it isn't the old yeast that's been in your cabinet for who knows how long.
I'm gonna start with the water.
It's 625 grams of water, or I have the conversions below, and in this case, it's 2 5/8 cups of water.
Microwave or heat up your 625 grams of water.
So I'm gonna microwave it for like 25 seconds.
You might have to guess with your microwave. For me, it ended up being 1 minute and 20 seconds. Ultimately, the water should be comfortably warm.
It's been dormant all this time. All right, that's looking really good.
Let's sit for a minute.
But that warm water is gonna bring it out. Now this will make you 2 loaves, one for your family and one for your neighbors. Or if you're like me, you'll take it to work. So it's 16 grams of salt. There we go.
I'm gonna clean this off. This is actually marlin scale, so I better put it back the way I found it.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add that salt. And I'm just gonna mix the salt around just a little bit.
Now add your mixture to the flour.
Now this part's critical. Anytime you're making dough, the moment that you mix them together, that's a moment you really need to seize.
You wanna mix it up right away so that you can get an even distribution. We have 4 ingredients, and so we have to focus on the technique so we get the most with those 4 ingredients. That's what makes it so wonderful. Scrape along the sides.
Set on a sturdy surface.
You're gonna wanna knead this for 5 to 10 minutes.
Watch my hands. Your dough will go through 3 stages, and subsequently so will your technique.
It smells really good.
When kneading your dough, you eventually want a smooth surface, and the trick to this is letting it sit for 2 to 5 minutes.
It's really a short time. It gives me just enough time to check on something else that's going on in the kitchen. Notice that it's bumpy and lumpy. Now, after we let it rest, if we fold it into itself, it is gonna be smooth and beautiful. Look at that. Much smoother now. Yeah, look at that. All right, perfect. Pinching off the bottom. You want a tall, plump mound. Now we're gonna let it rise for 30 minutes.
I spray the bowl with olive oil because it gives me the thinnest possible coating without adding anything to my recipe.
All right, that was 45 minutes.
Look at that. Whoa.
It's a big boy. Just gonna flatten it out a little bit. And because I'm making 2 loaves, I'll go ahead and cut it. And I'm just gonna fold it into itself. I'm not gonna work it too hard.
Because otherwise your dough
your bread's gonna stick to the pan. All right, get a sharp knife, and we're just gonna make a simple cut. Wanna make sure it's deep. Gonna let it rise for about 35 minutes, but keep an eye on it. You'll know when it's ready. All right, now you just sit back and watch the magic happen.
I'm gonna go ahead and preheat the oven and put a ramen condition in there with some water to build up some humidity. Doesn't need to be a lot.
It's great. Wow.
I've already preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and we're gonna bake these 2 loaves for 12 minutes at that temperature. Then we're gonna reduce it to 375 and do that for 30 minutes. I'm pretty excited. This is the moment we've been waiting for. The bread is done.
It's beautiful. Wow, look at that. That's great color, and it's crispy.
It is beautiful.
Now we're just gonna let it sit. A little plate.
Let's take that one.
Sí.